This tutorial I'm going to show you how to use Espanso, which is a text expansion utility. It's designed to save you time, and it's also free. And I've been using this thing for probably 4 years. So I've got a lot of experience using this specific tool. And you can get it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you can see how it works is that right here they have a date example. So if you type in something like :date, it will expand out to this. And I think it's better if I show how this works in Notepad++. So for example, if I type in :dt, it's kind of a short abbreviation for date time. So :dt will just expand out to the actual date and time, which, as you can see, it's, kind of late midnight. That's all it does, is it basically will just expand text. And I use this all the time for taking notes, because I always, want to know what time I took a note or something like that. I don't have to manually, type out the time or anything. I can just type in :dt and it will expand out the time for me. So this can save a lot of keystrokes. Another thing I always do is I'll type in my email. I've got an abbreviation for this, which is :em. So I'll just type in :em. I think I changed it to email, but you can see it will expand out to my actual, or in this case, it's a test email. So if you want to see how this works, there's a file called base.yaml. This is where you would edit all your triggers. So in this case, we may want to shorten this down to :em. And if you're wondering why you use a colon, if you just do something like this, then it's going to clash with words that start with em. So you always want to, put a colon or something like that. So for example, if I just leave it as em and I come over here and I type in em, it's going to expand out, but I can't type out email, like the word email. So that's why you have to have kind of a special character, something that you won't normally type out. So a colon is always recommended, but you can use anything. So if I type in :em, you can see it just expands out. That's pretty much how you would just write a simple trigger. I also have other triggers. So if I type in :g, it expands out to google.com, and this is a really handy one if you are always searching for things. But one of the limitations of this free software is you don't have the ability to move your mouse, or you don't have the ability to hit the enter key. So this will type out the words for you, but it will not press things like the enter key. So that's a limitation, but you can bypass it by using SwiftForth. In this video, I'm going to show you how to move the mouse and do more things with Espanso. So to create a trigger, it uses a YAML file called base.yaml. These are real simple to set up. So you can set up your trigger. So for example, if you type in :esp, it will expand into this piece of text right here. So I, just type in :esp, you can see it just expands into that text that we set in the base.yaml file. And we can set other triggers. So for example, I've got :em to expand into just some test email. You can set this to be anything that you want. So you could just have it be email. So I'll just save that, and it's really quick. So there you go. So to make changes is very fast. You saw that just took me no time at all. But where it gets interesting is how you can create these scripts. So you can actually have this fire off any type of script written in Python, Forth, C, C++, or just about any language. So for this example, I'm going to use the SwiftForth command line utility. For the arguments, we're going to have it run this program that I created called mousemove.f. If I open mousemove.f, this is just a very simple program. We're using the Win API, in this case, the set cursor position. If you want to see a more in-depth tutorial, I covered this in a previous video, but I'm also using this word squote to output a piece of text, and we're typing it out. And we're also, after we type it out, we're setting the cursor position. After we set the cursor position, we exit the script. That's how we can, move our mouse anywhere. So in this case, I'm not using Espanso to type things out. I'm using this command right here. So we can just type in, hello world. We can save it. And if I go back to SwiftForth and type in :tm, which I've abbreviated to test mouse or something like that. So tm. You can see my mouse jumped up to the tools menu and I can select whatever I need to. So you can see, that's what it does. Code is real simple. And if I go to base.yaml, you can see that you can create this just using a few lines right here. So to get the mouse coordinates, I've created a word. I'm just going to paste it in. So what this does is it will allow me to get the X and Y coordinates for this mouse. Let's say I want this mouse to jump over on this corner of the screen or this corner of the window. I'm just going to hit enter and we're going to type in the word test. And you can see it's got the X and Y coordinates and it's real time. So I can move it over here and I can just hit the enter key. So there's my coordinates. I can save this. So we've got the coordinates and we'll just go back to our mousemove.f. We'll replace this with our new coordinates. Save it. I just hit :tm. You can see my mouse just jumped over to the corner of this window. So you can, really quickly develop a quick workflow for things if you can, grab the mouse coordinates. And you can also grab the coordinates that are outside of the SwiftForth window. So it's not just bound to this window. You can go, if you have two monitors, you can go across and grab those coordinates. Another cool feature is the ability to set your text cursor to be in any position, and you can also use the clipboard. So you can paste the contents of the clipboard, you can have your text expansion, and you can control where the text cursor is in this expansion. So to demonstrate this, I'm just going to capture this folder path right here. I'm going to copy that to my clipboard, and I'm going to type in my kind of shortcuts. It's going to expand and you can see my text cursor is placed before the quotation. So you can control where this is, but this is the contents of the clipboard and this is the location of the text cursor. So if I wanted this to be at the beginning, I can just put it right there. I can go back here. I'm just going to cancel that out, type in shell, and you can see my text cursors blinking over here. So probably have to recopy this again. So you can see my text cursors at the beginning before the C right here. So that's an example of using the clipboard and the ability to control your text cursor. Next is the date. I use this one all the time for taking notes and things like that. So if I come up here and I just type in DT, it's going to fill that out for me. So this is perfect for taking notes when you want to note the time of something. So that's one that I use all the time. You would want to copy this because this it took me a while to figure this out, but this is how you would create this. For this last example, I'm going to have Espanso run a script and it's going to programmatically type in the keyboard 1, 2, 3. In the calculator app on Windows, if you hit the enter key, it will bring up this equal sign up here. So it's just going to do a basic simple thing. And if we look at the code I've called it key type. Got the number 1, number 2, number 3, and we got the enter key right here. And this is important because Espanso doesn't have the ability to press the enter key, but we can bypass that by creating this word right here. So what we can do is we can put the calculator app, we can find this window. We can set the calculator app to be in the foreground so it can be in front of all the other windows. We can wait a few milliseconds, type out the numbers, and hit the enter key at the end. If I go to my base.yaml, we can set up a trigger called keyboard type. So it's called KT. It's going to run our script right here. And if I type in :KT, see it brings up our calculator app, types in 1, 2, 3, and hits enter. So I'll just run that again. Brings it up and types that in. So these are some ways you can expand Espanso to use the enter key to programmatically press things on the keyboard and do things like that. So there's a lot to this program. I've been using it for like 4 years. They've come out with a few features. This is really a time-saving tool. So I've used this for things like ffmpeg, because I used to edit my videos using ffmpeg. So some of these commands get really long. I got tired of copying and pasting them. So you can use Espanso and ffmpeg, and that's about all I got. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.